Hi, I'm Christina, the creator and founder of ZIMAF Entertainment that hosts Health, Wealth, and Happiness interviews to inspire. I hope you enjoy this special episode of Health, Wealth, and Happiness as we explore Season 1 on the topic of health. And if you see a guest today that inspires you, watch the full episode and support them. So, in all of the interviews, we have words that are important to us: the health, wealth, and happiness. And health, my mother is a pediatrician, retired now, but that is her health word. Can you tell us more about your life as a pediatrician? One of the facts that I pulled up is when you started as a pediatrician, there were only 5% female doctors, even, let alone getting it down to a pediatrician.
Well, I was fortunate. I was fortunate to be accepted in Henry Ford Hospital in Detroit in Department of Pediatrics, and I was so happy coming from a unknown medical school. I was so happy. People that trained me came from St. Christopher's Children in Philadelphia and not University of Philadelphia, but there were big hospitals in Philadelphia, and our department head was the second hand. It was Dr. Nelson who wrote the original pediatric textbook. He was his right hand man, Dr. High. He's dead now, but yeah, and I was so happy when they accepted me there.
The descriptive word for health is balance. So, what would you say, and how can you describe to me a little bit about your health word of balance?
Yeah, so I think, like you said, the term stay-at-home working mom is so loaded and so multifaceted. It's a twofold job. So you have the stay-at-home part, and which is, basically just staying home with my almost 3-year-old toddler. I have a little bitty one on the way. So there's that aspect to it. But I also work for a public library in Baltimore as part of the public library system. And I work full time. It's been a blessing in disguise for sure, because that means I can stay home and watch my kids grow up and not miss anything. But it's also been a challenge trying to balance.
So Renee's health word is connected. Renee, tell us a little bit about connected and what that means to you.
I think of connected as a health word like this. So I'm going to give you an example. From my many years of going to the gym and exercising, for instance, which is extremely valuable to me, I call it really training. I think it's important for us to understand that your whole self is connected in one. For instance, you have a body and you have a mind, but you have something deeper than that. And there's an inner self. And have you ever been in a situation, and I'm thinking of you, Christina, and is it okay that I say as a former ballroom dancer, have you ever had someone that you were teaching that they couldn't connect their mind to their feet, or they couldn't connect their emotions to flow with the music? So I think of something that's extremely valuable to health for all of us is to realize that we are all a connected being.
So Jennifer, you are someone who likes to keep moving physically, and exercise is your health word. Tell us a little bit about that racquetball that you started to get involved in recently.
Oh, yeah. I'm really bad at making time for exercise. I spent a lot of time with my mom friends around the neighborhood. We would set up walks, take the dogs, take the kids. But I played high school racquetball. And I got to compete in state and nationals, and I was really, really good 20 years ago. And I kept seeing it pop up at work in this league, and it finally, the stars aligned, and I joined last year. So I couldn't walk for 3 days after my first game. So that was rough. But it's recently become more and more manageable, and it's been a lot of fun. I know my husband likes to just do regular workouts. I find them incredibly boring. I have to be moving in some other way that's fun, or getting something done, like beating people or getting beat. taking the dogs out for a walk. That one's always really good. Or park with kids, all that kind of stuff. I try and set step goals. That's been something like I like to, hit something every time. So I set a new step goal that was attainable, and this year it's been pretty good at getting it done. So lots of fun new progress.
So April, I have as your health word spirit. Tell
Yes.
me what you mean by spirit.
The spirit is you, the electricity, the piece that drives you. If you think and you hear the voice inside your head talking to, the piece that's in there, your awareness, that's you. Okay. It has nothing to do with April or Christine or, Joe Schmuckatelli. It doesn't have anything to do with who you are as a person. It's the inside. It's who you were before you were you. People call it their soul, people call it, you have to focus from there and say, I'm thankful for this opportunity to be here and to go through these challenges so that I can grow.
So Ruth's health word is self-love. Oh, tell us more about self-love. And you've gone through something recently that I think you're going to share with us.
Yes, I am. That was really the starting point for the self-love journey. So about 8 months ago, I had this mysterious spot on my side that continued to grow into a rash that covered most of my torso. And I was diagnosed with Lyme's disease, which, if you're not familiar with that, we're taught that it comes from tick bites and it can affect our body. We can be in pain, dizziness. It can be mental issues. And so when I got the diagnosis, I was really unsure how to move forward. I knew that from the past few years, I've been living a sustainable, healthy life, that I wanted to focus on self-healing and finding more natural ways to look at this disease. So I wasn't interested in antibiotics at the time. And I built this team that supported me in my healing. And I was taking the natural remedies, I was doing the practices for months and months, and I was on this roller coaster ride. So it didn't get better that quickly. And I felt like I was missing a piece in my healing journey. And about halfway through, I was like, okay, am I really doing the right thing? Should I just take the antibiotics and be done with it?
So Natalie's health word is balance. And considering her work she does, tell us about balance in your life and your health life.
Yes, so balance is such an important word for me, an important way of life for me, because as you know, we play so many different roles. I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm a therapist, I'm a friend. I have so many roles in my life, and within myself, there's so many parts of me, right? My mental health, my physical health, my spiritual health, my finances, just so many things that I do. And so it's always about trying to figure out how to balance myself. And so I take very intentional steps and effort to make sure that there is balance in my routine, balance in the way that I do things, so that I've checked off all the boxes with all of these things, because it's so easy for things to get neglected when I'm not being intentional in creating balance. And we could tell, our body tells us, right? So when we're not getting enough sleep, when we're not resting, when we're not doing enough of certain things, then you're going to feel that deficit. You're going to feel it. And so I always got to make sure, how do I recenter myself and create balance into my life? So
Angela's health word is determination. Tell us about what determination means to you.
Determine that you're going to do everything you can to be healthy, to live your best life, to be your own advocate, like I said, as far as going to the doctors, eating right, fitness, whatever you can do to live as long as you can, as far as determination, sticking on a regimen. Okay, if that means changing your eating habits, changing your diet, going to the gym, not going to the gym, doing things at home, housewise.
So, Jen, your health word is balance. Tell us more about that.
I think balance for me is about not doing things in polar opposites, because I've realized since I've been perimenopausal that all my life there's been something not quite right. I've not quite fitted with anybody. I was told I was disruptive at school, and that I was a disruptive influence. I wasn't allowed to stay on in the sixth form because apparently I was too disruptive. And I've realised fairly recently, looking at the mass of information about ADHD everywhere, and also the fact that I've got 2 children who are neurodiverse as well, and looking more into it, I've realised that it's highly likely that I've got ADHD.
So this should be interesting. Mary Jane's health word is everything. Can you tell us more about what that means to you, everything as your health word?
That is my mantra. If I may share with you, health is everything. I always tell myself, I keep on telling myself this mantra in a quiet way, because I think when you say health is everything, it encapsulates everything from being, when you talk about wealth, when you talk about happiness, health is the first thing that will come to your mind. When you get sick, what will happen to you? When you don't take good care of yourself, what will happen to you? You might have everything. You might be happy, you might be wealthy, but if you are not well, it will certainly affect you and the things that you will be doing.
C's health word is natural skincare. Tell us a little bit more about how you got into natural skincare. I know you have some inspirations.
Right. I'm sure those 12 years I had it with a different experience. One of those things where all the service was given for each service with the patients were given by mostly trying to keep the hygiene with ourselves by washing our hands and trying to sanitize as often as possible. So after all that, when I was coming back to the house, I can see my hands, they were not really, they were affecting me because of all those harsh chemical liquids and all the chemical on sanitizers. My daughter, by then she was like 3, 4. She was also always trying to feel bad for me, how my hands were changing according to her. So this was the initial trick that I was driven to kind of incorporate some natural ingredients at home with the small bottles for me to carry on. Later on, my colleagues were joining me with the same natural products. Then the question keep coming and growing, and everybody all of a sudden wants to try all these products that I was trying to have for myself. But
Chris's health word is empathy and meditation. Tell us a little bit more about that, Chris.
Well, it comes from the fact that a lot of my career has been very adrenaline driven. So I was a labor lawyer, which, definitely gets your adrenaline going when you're being an advocate for someone, and then coming into the labor movement inside, things are very highly charged. There's a lot at stake, and it's just a lot of adrenaline. So I had over time to find some remedy, some balance to that adrenaline. And that really has come through meditation, yoga, deep breathing, just trying to balance out the highly charged work environment with some peace, some balance. So that's why I chose those words. Empathy is there too, because again, this is a learned lesson after many decades, that when you're in a position of conflict or anger, that one of the best ways to work out of that is to try to imagine what the other person is going through. So
your health word is accessible. Tell us a little bit more about what that means to you.
It's something I'm so passionate about. And I know that sounds like so cliche, like I have passion, but like accessibility is something that I really it's really been something that I've been trying to incorporate into my business. I believe that everybody should have access to what I do. I believe today that the industry of self-care and wellness is pricing our community out of our services. And it is reducing access to what we actually do on all aspects, whether as an esthetician, as a yoga instructor, or a certified yoga instructor, as someone who's been in the fitness industry on and off throughout the year. This wellness and self-care industry keeps ratcheting up the cost.
Norbelli, for your health word, you have diversity. Please tell me a little bit more about that.
You know, when I think of health, and this word just came up to me, or just came up because I think that for everyone to be healthy, you need to have a variety of knowledge, meaning be diverse, learn from others, learn from different cultures, learn from different ways of thoughts. And I look at health, you can be healthy if you go to a foreign country and you try their food. Some foods might be better than ours. When you meet with someone and they have a different beliefs, maybe a religion, that might be also a way to be healthy, because we forget that we don't exist in our bubble. We need to be we need to be open-minded and see what's out there that can give us much healthier lifestyles. So for me, diversity is a way to be healthy by understanding what's out there that we haven't tried out, be open-minded.
Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow us on all the social networks. You're supporting this channel and our guests. We would love to have you as part of our community. Thank you.